Hi Joe, second workout, another workout. This time we are lying down, supine. I have set up the bar, low foot bar, so it's number 2 down with 2 red springs and 1 yellow. That is quite light. Now the light is so we get the hamstrings activated, don't worry, we will stretch them, and the hips opening with the length in the lumbar spine. Shoulders nice and wide, lots of bridging and all that sort of thing. So light springs. Roll your body down as we always do. Put your heels on the foot bar and your feet narrow pretty much almost together. Hands down by your side as always. Make sure it's all nice and comfy. It's like coming home, and then press the bar away. Nothing unusual here. We are not in neutral. That's the weirdest thing. We are imprinting today. So narrow your rib cage. Lengthen your lower spine and see if you can keep your lower back imprinted on the mat. So this is very different to some of that training that we did every Saturday. Try and lengthen the lumbar spine and really deepen into the deep lower abdominals across the hips. Check that your heels are nice and equally weighted. And you'll notice on this light spring that it's not a huge press. Feel that you're trying to activate from your sit bones and feel that you're lifting up your knee but not pushing into the knee. So lifting the kneecap up. Okay, now I'm going to go to insteps, which is not normal, right? So just a release through the foot. Check that your knees don't knock together. You're nearly together, but there's like a 2-finger gap between your knees. And then try and keep that imprint as we come a little bit lower down the foot. You know the normal breathing. Breathe in. If you can breathe through your nose, it's always great. Try and open the throat. So, we're talking so much about immunity and everything at the moment. So open the throat. Breathe through the nose. Lengthen the spine as always, and we're trying to deepen into the lumbar. And powerhouse. Scooping the tummy in. Right. So you will notice now with the lower foot bar a couple of things. You might not be coming in as deep as you want to in the hip flexor. So we want to release the hip flexor. We want it relaxed. So try not to use the hip flexor. Put your thumbs there and give it a little bit of a shake. Tap the top of your thighs. Tap up, tap up, tap up. Try and get those to release. The springs will help you in. But also, as it's light, you want to try and get the back of the body to pull you in. Okay, final challenge here, nothing new. Toes on the foot bar. Lift your ankles quite a lot, like your high-heeled shoes, not sensible ones like I used to say. And then press away. Try and keep the imprint for as long as possible. Don't worry if you don't straighten the knee. And then come back in. So the higher ankle lift is going to encourage that length in the lower back. So this is, as much as you're using your deep abdominals, we're actively stretching the lumbar spine and the lower back, so it is not back support. We will get into that. Scoop, scoop, scoop. All right, here we go. We're going to stay with your legs as straight as you can maintain your lumbar spine flat, and then lower and lift both ankles at the same time. So really suck your tummy in. And then with that low foot bar, we're in a very long position, and you will be tilted pelvis, a pelvic tilt. You might be feeling that hip opening. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Lengthen your heels underneath. Give it 2 more. Last one. Keep both hips very steady, and then come down into that natural, neutral, relaxed position, a natural, neutral spine. Low foot bar, so take your feet a little bit wider. Low foot bar means that you will be very much more subtle in your bridging. Remember, head cushion flat, and then we're going to carry on again with that pelvic tilting. Hopefully now you'll feel quite comfortable there. And then roll through the pelvic tilt to lift, and then go up until you feel the hips open a bit more, and you'll feel those hamstrings straight away because it's a light spring. And then hollow on down, as we always do. Okay, so just a couple activating those hamstrings. We're on the heels at the moment. And then coming back down. And then another one. one. So no, you know, when you get that hamstring, ding, 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 kick your legs out if you need. Okay, so grab the knees in, release and everything, press the heels away, get the hamstrings open and everything. And now we're going to do the semicircles, taking them into pelvic circles. Semicircles is roll and reach up into that subtle bridge. Lengthen the carriage away. Now really trying to open the hip. Don't worry if you feel that you're losing that back lift because it's naturally going to come down a bit. Then push your rib cage down and come down into the lower back and come down into your neutral bend. So hollow, reach, lift, don't lose the carriage yet, Claire. Push away and then release the chest. Rolls and see if you can get the mid back in before my butt touches straight away. Last one. Roll to start. Press away. Roll to come down. Come back in. Go the opposite way. Push away. Now with this, try and lead with the tail, but you will just be lifting. Now lift higher and higher and higher and go higher. And then ripple down through the chest. And go again, pushing away. Rolling or lifting through the tail first and higher, pulling with the tops of your feet and rolling it in and down. Okay, another one. Pressing it away. Come nice and high, higher, even more, even more. Now you'll feel the glutes are really helping right now. Shake out your legs. If you like to repeat that segment parallel, it'll be a whole heap more of your pelvic opening and hamstring. So same thing, but parallel. Don't need to do it for you, I don't think. Just press me on hold. So, bring your knees to a bent leg position. Find your neutral. Hold the shoulder pads or those little poles above it. I think you've got it. And then rotate your feet like a little swish. Dip your feet to the corner of the foot bar. Come back up and swish around. So I want to just move the spine a little bit in a neutral position, but now into sort of side twisting. Get those internal obliques again a little. Breathing out, twisting, and dipping down. Breathing in, twisting, should have said, and breathing out, dipping down. Opening your shoulders, keeping the rib cage in, and finding that movement in the lower back. Okay, grab your knees, pull yourself to sit in. Unhook one of the red springs. And just so you know, if you've got a red on one side, the yellow on the other side, try and get a little bit of an equal split. So one red, one yellow. I don't know the setup, but hopefully they should be a little bit split. But you'll notice the yellow one is slightly further in. Sit right close to the front edge of your carriage for full hip circles. Grab your shoulder pads, fingers around the edge, sides. Wiggle your hips down to go with this one, and then push the carriage out from underneath you. So you're on your shoulder blades. Come onto your toes, slightly wide to the sides of the foot bar, and let your tailbone sink into the springs. Don't worry that you're not in the middle, remember they're off center. So let's start by going up into your bridging. Now you'll feel that we're stepping higher and higher and higher through the hip flexor. And I hope that it's encouraging more movement. And then just dive your tailbone down and feel the movement in the back of your shoulder blades. And then let the springs bring you in. And again, curl, lengthen your lower back. Reach your sit bones out. Push and open out through the hip flexor. Feel the glutes really lifting you high. And then dive your tailbone down. See how far you can sink in. Don't worry about the extension. We want extension in the top of the ribs. That's the little serratus muscles that you mentioned about as well, out and underneath the rib cage. Breathing in here and then breathing out. And curling down one more time in this upward and outward circle. Now when you come back down, we're just going to reverse it. So stay with your tailbone hanging in the springs and press away. I find this way so much more difficult. Feel that you're trying to pull your tailbone along the springs before you lift up. And then lift right the way high into the widest part of your shoulders. And then dive down around the edge of the springs. Box, base, carriage. Couple more. So lengthening out. I know you get the drift here. video, but I'm doing it with you so you can do it in real time, especially the first few times, until you feel the exercises that you want more of. Some that you might want less of, do more of those. The ones you least like, especially with me, are the ones we need. We kind of got to encourage our bodies to go with the awkward, the uncomfortable, until the bodies release and kind of give into it. Our brains are stronger than our bodies, or apparently so. So last one. When you get to the top, lift your hips off the springs. Relax your shoulders, wiggle your hips and let the carriage slide back underneath you. And release for a second. Open your arms and let your back rest. Don't suddenly sit up. Shake out your legs maybe. Open your shoulders, let your wrist release, and let your body absorb that movement. I don't want you to suddenly pull everything back into your norm, our norm. So walk your feet sideways, be careful on yourself as you roll up. And we're going to change the springs and get everything all set up, ready for some leg circles to open the hips even more, and short and long spinal. I would suggest 2 red springs because I'm feeling that you're still pretty strong. Remember, you can always do 1 red, 1 blue. So here we go. Grab the straps. Check the straps are the same length. So mine's to my board. Make sure the straps are the same length. Yeah. And then come back down. You can leave the foot bar on the low foot bar. I'll give you more space. Okay, here we go. Straight into stepping into the straps. Put the insteps in the strap closer to the back of your heel. Same on the other side. Closer to the back of the heel. The reason for that is I want to put a bit of footwork in and push the carriage away. I'm cutting my head off, never mind. You don't need to see that. So bring the toes to the ceiling and your sit bones out down to where the springs hook on. And then push your toes back down to the foot bar and feel the length on the top of the thigh. Heels pushing up and then toes pressing down. Yeah, that's all. Just a few of those. Try and now remain in your neutral or your natural spinal position. So neutral for you does have a curve there. Try and keep the curve as you come up. Now as you go down, gently funnel your rib cage in and push the toes down. So carry on with that footwork. As you go up now, finding that deep stretch, or a bit of a stretch, turn your toes out into a Pilates V shape, go around into large leg circles. Nice and big. So really feel the sit bones. You want to feel that the back of the legs are holding you there as you separate and then circle. So feeling that lovely movement inside the hip joint. And I think, like I mentioned before, you might want to put your thumbs on top of that hip flexor. Try and relax it. Don't let the hip flexors do anything. Reverse it. Stop at the bottom. Bring your toes out to the side. Heels up. Come back into the middle and toes down. Length, 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 length. Ribs in. Heels out to the side. Come up to the top. And toes away. Let's do another one. And then toes away. So coming back up to where you feel you can keep your back in its neutral. Relax feet now. Open out one leg and don't let the other hip go with you. So make sure that you're not rocking and then come back in. So we're starting to get the back of the legs nice and active. And then coming back up. So pressing the foot that's in the air, pushing on that strap, not letting any movement happen in the torso, particularly the hips. So hip bones stay steady to the ceiling. Couple more. Last one. And then bend your knees in and step your straps into the short loop. So if you are on 2 reds and not on 1 red, 1 blue, this is going to be good and heavy. You can choose. Good and heavy might be good. 1 red, 1 blue also will work depending on how you're feeling. And also you can see even less of my head, might be best. So here we go into short spinal. Let me talk you through it. It'll be like riding a bike. So we're going to have your feet slightly externally rotating. We're going to fold at the hip, breathe in 1. We're going to roll, lengthening the tailbone up and over into that diagonal shoulder stand 2. We're going to bend your knees towards your ears, hollowing the tummy backwards 3. Try not to turn your head as you're doing that. And then for this version, I'd like you to leave the heels connected and pull them with you, keeping that gap behind your knee and your calf in the same position. So we're not lengthening at the moment, the hamstrings. And then push away, 4. So breathe in 1, I'll go a bit faster. Breathe out 2. Breathe in 3. Keep the distance, pull with your heels. Breathe around, 4. And push away, here we go. Breathe in 1. Roll up 2. Breathe in 3. Roll down 4. Okay, there's another version. I'm going to go through it. Breathe in 1. Roll up 2. There's other versions. Bend your knees in 3. Now, you're going to leave your heels where they are and roll down, keeping your feet as high as you can and lowering your back down until you're trying to get your back down but your legs up. So you're folded in half. Then pull on your hamstrings and push away. So we've added an extra level. So it's 1, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then push away. Yeah. Breathe in 1. Breathe out 2. Rolling the spine, widen the shoulders, so connecting through the back of the shoulders. Bend through. Keep the feet there. 4. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Stretch. And then use those hamstrings to pull you in. 5. And push away to start. There you go. There's your 2 versions of short spinal. Keep doing them. Do what feels good. Raise your hands. Remember how I used to raise the hands so you're using the side of the shoulders, side of the back. I couldn't decide what version to do there as I was chatting. So I did half, 4 and a half. So you're bending in. I like this one where you leave your feet where they are and you fold yourself in half. And then come back down. Push away. Great. Long spinal is a lot in the back of the legs. So if you're on 2 reds, long straps. I used to say short spinal, short straps, long spinal, long straps. It doesn't necessarily go. So here we go. Long spinal is long legs. So fold at the hips. Don't bend the knees in this version. Shoot your feet straight up to the ceiling. Widen your feet a little and then come down, cascading down the spine. Leaving your legs in the air, pushing, pushing, pushing with the back of your body. And then just draw a small circle to come back down to 45 degrees on the foot bar. So breathe in 1, rock it up 2, open 3, a little bit, shoulder width, roll down 4. Once your tailbone's down, circle to close to back to the beginning. Ceiling, shoot up, open, roll down, circle. I must admit, I didn't always do it in that outward motion, but you can do open out to start, fold at the hip. With your feet shoulder width apart, reach up. Now as you're reaching high now, wide shoulders, gather your inside thighs together, look along the line of your body, and then roll down, squeezing your inside thighs together. And then come down through the center and circle outwards. So your hip width apart, rolling up through the back of the body, close together, scooping everything into the inner middle line of your inside thighs, inside hips, inside belly, go down through the center and open it around. Let's do one more time. Roll it all the way up, squeeze together, and then roll down. I'd like to give you an option to finish off with. So on the next one, we're going to roll up, we're going to lift up, and then we're going to bend both knees. Twisting and feeling that stretch in the QLs, and then pushing back up, and then twisting the other side. And then pressing back up, 2 more. Twisting, and pushing away, and then last one. Pushing away, rolling the spine down. Fold yourself in half, give it a good old stretch. Loose the strap, one leg at a time. And you are done for the next one. So here we go for the third one, third and final.